Relationship expert and counselor Norm Quantz of Image Incorporated offers another compelling topic in the mental health field. Visit normquantz.com for more information.
On the subject of addictions, addictions are talked about a lot in our society these days. And if you just take a general concept of a definition for addictions, you could say it's a habit that has become destructive or detrimental to a person's life, and it can either involve an emotional addiction to it or a physiological addiction to it, combination of those as well. But an addiction is something that is now causing an interference with healthy living, enjoying life, and it's now in control of the person. So when you look at the addiction subject and you think of the addictions maybe in your own life, the habits that you just wish you didn't have because it's controlling you and you're losing the sense of personal control, there is confusion sometimes over why I just can't decide to stop and make it happen. Well, one of the areas you can think about or look at is the issue of what actually you're stopping from. If you're, say, for example, drinking alcohol and your body just craves it and you find that you just have to have something, what are you actually having to have it for? Is it just the feeling physically that you are wanting to get satisfied, the craving part, the physiological craving part of that? Or do you find that when you crave it most is when you're in that awkward moment, when you feel like you're going to be embarrassed, or you're in a social group and you're not sure how you're going to feel when you get more exposed to some of your thoughts coming out in the conversation, and so you have that craving that hits you that says, I want to numb that a little bit by having a drink, and then I can say some things and I'm less inhibited and I don't feel as bad when people may not like it, or I become the fun one at the party. Oftentimes with addictions, it's not so much the addiction that is the issue, but the addiction is the coping method for other circumstances that are going on. And even though alcohol or smoking addictions, nicotine addictions, or emotional attachment addictions, I'll talk about adrenaline addiction at another time, but some of those kinds of things you might think are just something that you can't stop, but they play an important role in your life. Consider what they're actually replacing. There is a reason for it. There is, even beyond the physical craving for it, there is a reason why it's in place. So take a look at the cause. Take a look at the function that the addiction actually plays in your life. And it does oftentimes need some help to understand that as well. And that help is available through a therapist or a counselor. But the addiction itself is something that makes you or substitutes for your own personal intentional control. And you're losing that control. What are you losing it to is a good question to ask yourself. So look at your circumstances. Maybe it's when you're in a tough situation or an embarrassing situation, or somebody's demeaning you or abusing you, that you tend to go towards the addictive habit to substitute and then feel better with that. But look at the cause. It might help you take a better approach to getting over the addiction instead of still staying within it and just putting up with it and punishing yourself just because you can't get over it.
Image Incorporated is an interactive multimedia academy for global education. Visit normquants.com for more information.